Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we like to blend casual conversations with some pretty insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Absolutely.
So today,
Yeah.
we're going to be taking a deep dive into the future of big tech.
Okay.
Apple,
Amazon.
and even the cryptocurrency industry itself.
Wow.
And we're going to be looking at how politics and regulation are playing a huge role in all of this.
Yeah, that's a big one these days.
Really is.
For sure.
We've got some really fascinating insights from recent reports and analyses.
Oh, that's going to be good.
So buckle up.
Okay.
All right, so let's kick things off with Amazon.
Okay.
They just posted a pretty whopping 19% revenue growth,
Wow.
exceeding everybody's expectations.
Yeah, I saw that.
But what's really intriguing is their focus on custom silicon.
Ah, that's a smart move.
What do you think about that?
I think it's brilliant strategically,
No.
by developing their own chips like Inferentia and Trainium. Amazon is reducing its dependence on companies like NVIDIA, which gives them more control over their supply chain
Yeah.
and could significantly boost their profit margins.
So they're basically saying, why rent the tools when we can build our own?
Exactly.
But how does this play into their battle for cloud supremacy with Microsoft Azure?
Well, Amazon Web Services, or AWS as it's called, is a behemoth.
Yeah.
It's pulling in about $110 billion in the cloud market.
Wow.
Now, Azure is smaller at $65 billion,
Got it.
but it's growing at a faster rate,
Interesting.
33% compared to AWS's 19%.
Huh.
But Amazon's not just sitting back.
No.
They are planning to spend a massive $75 billion in capital expenditure, primarily for AWS expansion.
That's a serious chunk of change.
It is.
It sounds like they are betting big on the future of cloud services.
They are.
And with AWS already boasting a 38% operating margin, it's easy to see why.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it's not just about cloud computing, though.
Right.
Amazon's also getting creative in e-commerce.
Interesting.
They're facing a trend of smaller basket sizes
Yeah.
as people prioritize those essential purchases. But they're countering this with strategic delivery consolidation
Makes sense.
and optimized regional centers.
I see.
So imagine like fewer trucks on the road.
Less traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And faster delivery times.
Who doesn't love that?
Nobody.
Nobody.
All right, now let's switch gears and talk about Apple.
Okay.
It seems they're not hitting the growth numbers analysts expected.
Really?
What's the story there?
Surprisingly, growth in China has been pretty flat.
Interesting.
Only a 0.5% increase.
Oh.
This was unexpected,
Yeah.
especially given the lower sales numbers from previous periods.
But there's a glimmer of hope, right?
Yeah.
The iPhone 16 release is just around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of anticipation, particularly in China.
For sure.
Maybe that'll reignite their market interest.
Yeah.
Especially if Apple can bring some of their more advanced features to the Chinese market.
Right. That's a good point.
So,
Yeah.
the initial rollout of Apple's new intelligence features is focusing on those English-speaking countries first.
Okay.
Expanding to Europe and China later will be crucial,
Yeah.
but it might require some strategic partnerships,
Interesting.
even potentially with a major Chinese tech company like Baidu,
Wow.
to really kind of navigate that complex regulatory landscape.
That would be huge.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of politics, let's dive into the world of cryptocurrency.
Okay.
It's a bit of a roller coaster right now.
It is.
Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
We're seeing how different political approaches can make or break an entire industry.
Yeah, it's true.
The Biden administration has received some criticism
Oh, yeah.
for its regulation by enforcement approach to cryptocurrency.
Right.
So essentially, they're clarifying the rules by taking action against companies they deem are breaking them. This has created a lot of uncertainty and frustration within the crypto community.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Many are calling for clearer legislation from Congress,
Yeah,
so they know what the rules are from the get-go.
that makes sense.
It's like trying to play a game without a rule book.
Exactly.
But then we have former President Trump,
Okay.
who is signaling a much more pro-crypto stance,
Interesting.
talking about appointing crypto-savvy individuals to key positions and potentially shaking up the leadership at the SEC.
Wow, big changes.
And this is where public opinion comes into play.
All right.
A recent Harris X poll revealed that 2/3 of voters
Wow.
believe that Congress should take the lead
Interesting.
on cryptocurrency regulation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a clear signal that people want more clarity and support for this emerging technology
Makes sense.
from their elected officials.
Yeah, for sure.
So it seems like the U.S. crypto industry is stuck in limbo,
It does.
waiting for clear direction from lawmakers. But what does this mean for American crypto companies in the meantime?
Well, unfortunately, many are facing real challenges.
I see.
This lack of clear regulation
Right.
makes it incredibly difficult for them to innovate and grow.
Yeah.
Some are even thinking about moving their operations overseas
Oh, wow.
to escape the regulatory pressure.
Well,
And we've even seen layoffs in the sector.
oh, goodness.
So this begs the question,
yeah.
what will it take for the U.S. to create a more supportive environment for crypto innovation?
That's a question a lot of people are asking.
Is.
But we'll have to save that for another day.
Okay.
Let's wrap up part one
All right.
by reflecting on what we've learned so far.
That was good.
We've seen how Amazon is flexing its muscles in both cloud computing and e-commerce,
Yeah.
making strategic moves to maintain its dominant position.
Uh-huh.
We've also seen how Apple, despite its global success,
Right.
is facing challenges in China
Yeah.
and may need to think outside the box to regain its momentum. And finally, we've seen how the political winds are blowing hot and cold
Really are.
in the world of cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
leaving the industry in a state of flux.
It's true.
It's fascinating to see how these tech giants are navigating such a dynamic landscape.
Absolutely.
And it's important to remember that these aren't just stories about companies and technology.
Right.
They're stories that impact all of us.
For sure they do.
We'll be back in just a moment to dig a little deeper into these trends.
Okay.
So don't go anywhere.
I'll be here.
Welcome back to Byte-Sized Tech. Before we went to break, we were unpacking how those political landscapes are shaping the tech world.
Yeah, it's a wild ride out there.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Let's zoom back in on Apple for a second.
Okay.
It's fascinating how they've mastered this art of making their features seem so essential, even if they start as just nice-to-haves.
You're right.
Like, how do they do that?
It's clever.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Okay.
They introduce a feature.
Right.
It seems cool, but optional at first. Yeah. And then
And what?
they seamlessly weave it into their ecosystem. Open it up to developers, and boom,
Boom.
it's become indispensable.
It's like you need it now.
You need it.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
And the numbers speak for themselves.
They do.
Despite all those regulatory hurdles,
Right.
their services segment, which includes things like the App Store,
Uh-huh.
is thriving
Yeah.
with a solid 12% growth.
That's impressive.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah.
But there is a potential bump in the road.
Oh, what's that?
Their search placement deal with Google in Safari. There's a small chance it could cause some disruption,
Okay.
but it's more of a keep an eye on it situation for now.
Got it.
Okay, now circling back to cryptocurrency for a minute.
Right.
It feels like we're at a fork in the road here.
In what way?
With the Biden and Trump administration.
Right.
They seem to have very different approaches to regulation.
Yeah, for sure.
What could this mean for the U.S. crypto sector?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
It really is.
So right now, U.S. crypto companies are facing an uphill battle.
They are.
This lack of clear regulation
Right.
makes it incredibly difficult for them to innovate and grow.
And to even know what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some are even thinking about moving their operations overseas
I've heard that.
to escape that regulatory pressure.
It makes sense.
So
Yeah,
that's a tough pill to swallow,
it is.
especially if it leads to job losses and stifles innovation right here in the U.S.
Exactly.
What can be done
Well,
to create a more supportive environment for crypto?
it's going to take collaboration.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Between...
Regulators and industry leaders.
Got it.
They need to come together to create a framework that encourages innovation while still safeguarding consumers.
Right.
It's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
But a new administration, regardless of who wins, could be the catalyst for this much-needed dialogue.
So it sounds like the crypto industry is at a crossroads.
It really does.
Its future in the U.S. might just hinge on whether policymakers are willing to embrace this new technology.
You hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
The future of cryptocurrency in the U.S. depends on finding that sweet spot,
What's that?
fostering innovation while ensuring responsible growth.
Okay. So let's shift gears back to Amazon.
Right?
While their cloud dominance is undeniable,
It is.
they are encountering some interesting challenges in their e-commerce business.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Well, the shift towards essential goods has resulted in smaller basket sizes,
Right.
which can impact their bottom line.
Makes sense.
But Amazon is known for its agility.
They are.
They're implementing strategies like delivery consolidation and optimized regional centers
Right.
to combat these headwinds.
Are.
It's like they're constantly thinking 10 steps ahead,
They are.
anticipating challenges and adapting their strategy on the fly.
Absolutely.
Speaking of investments,
Oh.
cryptocurrency is certainly generating a lot of buzz,
It is.
but it's also attracting its share of skepticism.
Right.
What advice would you give to someone who's intrigued by crypto, but hesitant to jump in?
I would say do your homework.
Okay.
Understand the risks involved and start small.
Got it.
Don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
Right.
Crypto is still a relatively young and volatile asset class,
Okay.
so approach it with caution.
Good advice.
But it also holds incredible potential to be transformative.
Yeah.
So it's worth exploring if you're interested in the future of finance.
It's all about finding that balance between excitement and prudence, right?
Exactly.
And on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've explored the growth strategies of both Amazon and Apple,
Uh-huh.
delved into the political maze surrounding cryptocurrency,
We did.
and even touched on the ethical considerations of these advancements.
For sure.
It's been a fantastic discussion.
It has.
I hope our listeners have gained a better understanding
Yeah.
of how these tech titans are maneuvering through this ever-changing landscape
It's wild out there.
of innovation, regulation, and global competition.
For sure.
So remember, this is just a glimpse into this complex world of technology.
Right.
We encourage you to continue exploring these topics
Absolutely.
and stay informed about the forces shaping our digital future.
Yeah. Good advice.
And before we sign off,
Okay.
I'd like to leave our listeners with a question to ponder.
You're right. Hit me.
As technology continues to evolve at a breakneck pace,
Yeah.
what role do we as individuals and as a society want to play in shaping its development
Right.
and ensuring its ethical and responsible use?
That is the question.
It is a big one.
It is.
Welcome back to Byte-Sized Tech. We've been unpacking the world of tech giants, politics, and cryptocurrency.
A lot to unpack.
It is.
Yeah.
But before we wrap things up,
Okay.
let's shift our focus to Amazon's e-commerce strategies. I'm curious about how they're handling this trend of smaller online shopping basket sizes.
Yeah.
Is this impacting their profitability at all?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And yes, as people prioritize essential purchases, we are seeing those smaller basket sizes,
Okay.
which can cut into profits.
Right.
However, Amazon is incredibly adaptable.
Yeah, they seem to be.
They are.
Yeah.
They're countering this by consolidating deliveries and optimizing their regional centers. This means fewer trucks on the road.
Less traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Faster deliveries.
People like that.
Everybody likes that.
Yeah.
And ultimately, a healthier bottom line for Amazon.
So it sounds like they're always thinking one step ahead,
They are.
ready to adapt to those changing consumer behaviors.
Absolutely.
But let's not forget about their massive investment in AWS expansion,
Right.
a whopping $75 billion.
It's a lot of money.
It is a huge signal that they are betting big
Yeah.
on the future of cloud computing.
For sure.
It's incredible to see how these tech giants are making these strategic decisions that will shape the future of technology.
Absolutely.
But it's also important to remember
Yeah.
that the future of cryptocurrency is still hanging in the balance.
It is.
You know, we talked earlier about their regulatory uncertainties surrounding crypto.
Right.
What can our listeners do to stay informed
Okay.
and protect their investments?
Staying informed is key.
Okay.
Keep an eye on developments in Congress
Right.
and any potential policy changes from the SEC.
Got it.
The crypto landscape is shifting rapidly,
It is.
and knowing the rules of the game is crucial
Right.
for making those smart investment decisions.
So it's a bit of a wait-and-see game right now for cryptocurrency.
It is.
But that doesn't mean we can't be excited about the possibilities.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
Exactly. While we wait for more regulatory clarity,
Yeah.
it's a great time to learn about blockchain technology, explore different crypto projects,
Yeah.
and understand the potential impact this technology could have on our lives.
Well said.
Thank you.
We've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from Amazon's strategic shifts
Uh-huh.
to Apple's challenges in China
Right.
and the uncertain future of cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a wild world out there.
It is. I hope our listeners are walking away with a deeper understanding
Me too.
of how these tech titans are shaping the future of technology
For sure.
and how those changes can directly impact their lives.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure diving into these topics with you.
Likewise.
Remember, the tech world is constantly evolving.
It is.
Staying curious, asking questions, and engaging in these conversations is the best way to navigate this exciting and ever-changing landscape.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.